The seasons are changing and school is back in session. Realtor Stefanie Pratt is sponsoring today's segment to update you on any possible housing market changes. Thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you.
It's been a month.
It has been a month. What's new? How's life?
Been busy, but good. All three businesses running at the same time for about a week, and that always gets me a little bit crazy, but I love it.
All right, so let's talk about those three businesses because I feel like people primarily know you for real estate.
Yes.
Some people know that you have a rockin' Party Bus Express. What's the third business?
Well, real estate is always my core business and everything, but I have a Matterport camera which does virtual tours and pictures, and I started a small LLC about 2017-18, and I hired a photographer, and there was a need for it at the time. So, and it just wasn't her forte. She is so much better in different avenues of photography, so I thought I just, let it go. And then Green Street Realty called me, and then Bankier called me, and now I have JSJ, and I have Cochran's, and I have basically 5 companies that use me. And I always do pictures for turnover. So it's after the cleaning gets done, I go in there, and I scanned 41 this year in 1 week. So then I do the pictures, and it's not like I have to do them overnight kind of thing, because there's a little bit of time, but It's just a nice little third business that also keeps me in tune with campus and what goes on. I feel like it educates me to go down there and see all the businesses, and most people wouldn't go down there.
Right.
And I also get connected with these other businesses to actually know what they do, and maybe I have some rentals I want to throw their way,
That's really cool because I feel like you're right. Unless you have someone who's in school or you're going down for a specific reason, a lot of people aren't necessarily ever in that area. So that's cool that you get to do that.
The whole landscape has changed down there if you haven't driven down there. Probably wouldn't go down there now that there's 60,000 more people in town.
Of course, right. School is back in session.
But I'm down there when it's quiet. So it's very interesting to see it down there, honestly. I mean, just see the landscape and how it's changed and what our university town has to offer for campus.
Right. That makes sense. And then how are the doggies?
Puppies are good. Shaba and Bailey. Bailey's doing good. I have to get Bailey on more Apoquil, which is a higher dose of allergy pills, because she has actually developed more allergies.
Oh, no.
Her gotcha day is coming up. Her second year gotcha day in September when I got her. So I'm kind of excited about that. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Right. And what's her adoption story?
She was rescued by a girl out in Rantoul that rescued bait dogs.
Okay.
And what bait dogs are is, sorry to say this, but they dip dogs in the middle of dog fighting rings. And she was chewed up. She had her for about 2-3 weeks before I got her. She had worms. She was starting to heal. She had marks all over. I adopted her from her. I feel like I always tell Tay that she's the vessel that actually brought her to me.
Sure.
And you could not tell that dog is so lovable. She's a little barky dog, but she is so lovable, and that did not deter her from being so happy with the love she gets.
That's amazing. And I feel like you're sort of her guardian angel.
She is my baby. My baby Bailey.
And then the fall is coming, which I feel like as the seasons change, the real estate market tends to change.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about what we're looking towards for the fall for real estate?
And this is why I like August. I can do the virtual flare meeting because typically it's slower about August. This year, the first 2 weeks were a little bit faster. Then they start to slow down. Like it's slow across the board here. I mean, it's not dead, don't get me wrong, but it's not as crazy. You got school in session, all that stuff. So fall market starts after Labor Day, and that's where we pick up again. And fall market can tend to be busier than the spring market in most years anymore. So we're gearing up for that. We'll see how this year's goes. I mean, we expect it. Interest rates are supposed to tick down. We heard the Fed is going to actually meet in September, and there's a good possibility that they're going to trickle down again. So that's, people are waiting, but you can still contract, and if you haven't went too far to lock your interest rate in, you can still lock your interest rate at a later time too.
Right.
Talk to the lender, you can talk to me.
Yeah, and isn't there a rule too where like if you have a rate locked in, it's only locked in for a certain amount of days, so then if it gets better and you haven't found something yet, you could always kind of wait it out, or if it looks like it's getting better?
Well, unless you actually have a contract, you're not locked in.
Oh, okay.
They give you an estimated rate.
I see.
And then you have your pre-approval is good for 60 days. And then you have to re-up some of your information just to basically make sure that you haven't quit your job, you haven't lost it, you haven't went to part-time, all your money's there.
Right.
But once you lock your rate in, that's your rate lock for that loan once you're contracted. That's when you actually know what your interest rate is. And if you
Gotcha.
want to change that, there is a little bit of money to actually be spent, but that's through a lender. Say, you lock your rate in at a 6.5 and it goes down to 5.75, and it's like, hey, I want to relock this. That's where a lender's going to have to do a little fancy footwork and actually do some stuff to actually relock that.
But sometimes it might be worth the investment now to sort of long-term save
Yeah.
that, whatever that percentage would be.
And they could always hold off to lock your rate till closer to closing. You don't have to lock it in as soon as you do. Some will say, hey, we're expecting this. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to jump as soon as it goes.
Perfect.
That's a
great.
local lender for you.
And I feel like that's also the benefit of hiring professionals and working with professionals, because ultimately you can connect them with those people that are going to be able to do that for them.
23 years in the business. I cannot believe it. 23 years.
Amazing. 23 years and 3 businesses later, here we are.
I know, right? Why did I need that? But I'm single. I don't have kids. People go, how do you do it? I'm like, well, I don't have games. I don't have all this stuff to go to. So my free time is in my business and stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Stefanie. I appreciate you sponsoring our segment and sponsoring the show. And if you want more information, feel free to visit our website, ciliving.tv.